I'm Wendy, darling, and this is Real Talk. Yeah, so it looks like someone's really upset. They didn't think that Candace would get as far as she has. And it's not just Candace. You've got common folk on the ground now that are sending emails, that have been sending emails to Candace. Let's take a look.
The podcaster Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time, an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now?
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
A pregnant mommy sleuth who was locked into this investigation discovered something that me and my team had missed. Anyway, she sent me a rather urgent email, and I'm obviously protecting her identity for reasons that are clear, but I want you to know that this discovery is due entirely to her. Her email stated, in effect, that I was only partially right about the plane tracking Charlie, that she had done an additional 15 hours of research and was able to discern that the person the planes were actually tracking for years was Erica. Not Charlie, but Erica was the one being tracked by these planes. And indeed, it turns out that she was correct. She discovered that between 2022 and September of 2025, both of those aircrafts, SU-BTT, the yellow plane, and SU-BND, showed 68 overlaps with Erica's documented locations. 68 overlaps. I have since been able to add now 73 times that this overlapped. And 29 of those instances also happened to include Charlie. Charlie was also present. And that's what I was stumbling upon when I was looking into this. I was like, why is this plane where Charlie is?
This is unreal. And it forces one question to the front. Why? Why would anyone track Erica Kirk? Is someone close to her passing information to an Israeli operation? Is there a handler inside the circle? Someone hidden in plain sight? Maybe it's staff. Maybe it's someone even closer. But the pattern is hard to ignore.
I think it's Erica's mom.
So here's what I keep asking myself. Is there a spy inside this organization? And if so, how long has this been happening?
So this next clip you're gonna see is it's by a couple of younger girls that it was just in my feed today. Like I'd never seen them before. Brandy and Billy, go check them out. This was part 5, and it's the only part that I've seen so far. But I'm impressed. Good work, girls. Keep it up.
Scottsdale. How did they get you to bars in Scottsdale if you were under 21?
Yeah, so the first bar that they took us to, which was with all the administrators, so I'm talking all the higher ups besides Charlie, obviously he was not a part of this, but speaking of like the college, the person who ran the college department, the person who ran the high school department were there, and they took us to a bar called Buffalo Chip in Arizona.
Oh, I remember
that's
that.
an 18 and up bar,
Okay.
which is already kind of weird as it is. You know, it's kind of unmoralistic for Christians to go to bars as it is, so it was kind of weird. And then the second day that we went out was with the senior representatives of Turning Point, and those people got us into the bars. The bouncers did not ID anyone because they knew these people that were taking us in and just trusted them, I guess. And these people went and bought us drinks at the bar and said, hey, drinks on us, like get as many as you want, and would just keep buying rounds. It was really weird.
And they were totally aware that you were under the age of 21.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So are any of these people, and I know you can't name them, I know you have that NDA that
Yeah, Josh has an NDA that lasts until 2035.
It's insane.
2 questions. One, did they make you sign that NDA like when you left or right when you got hired? Like
it was day one. As soon as you walked into the training room, that was one of the first things they had you do.
Okay.
Very interesting. And second question, hold on. So all those people that you're not allowed to name.
Yeah.
How do you think someone like Brian Harple, head of security, is going to be taking out the 17-year-olds at the strip club?
Right.
But someone that is in charge of hiring that
Tyler
is very
Boyer.
known is Tyler Boyer.
Correct. He says correct.
He's one of them.
Tyler Boyer is also big in the news right now. So I feel like if I ask, like, are any of these people in the news currently, I feel like he wouldn't have straight up said no.
I would say that a lot of the people that were involved with the situation when I was there were not publicly brought out yet, and they probably won't be, more than likely.
Okay.
Because some of these people are not bigger figures within the company, although there are some administrators that are lesser known.
And are you aware, or are you pretty certain that Charlie Kirk did not know that there were people that worked for him that were taking underage kids out drinking?
Absolutely not. He had no idea about this. And I know about this because Charlie wasn't there for the first couple days of training at all. He was actually on a trip doing, I think, an event. But he was not there when this was happening. And this was actually a pretty common occurrence where he wouldn't be there during training time. He normally had a lot of events in August, so he was never really there. I was a contracted employee. I had a school year contract with them, so it was from August of 2023 to June of 2024.
Wow. And you got to meet Charlie quite a few times with
people that you worked with that maybe are still there right now.
Chris.
Yeah. Chris is one of those people. Tyler is one of them as well. Charlie Kirk, I worked with him several times. I had many events with him at Destiny Church too. That is documented and well known. So if anyone doesn't believe me, they can look at that. But a lot of the people that I did work with have left the company because of the same reasons that I have for leaving, surprisingly. Wow. But they are too afraid to speak out, sadly. And I've tried convincing them, but that just hasn't. Yeah.
I can only imagine.
So you've spoken to these people and you're like, hey, we should speak out about this. And they're like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm afraid. Or
right. I have a text message that I can send you guys after the live too, from one of them that said, I'm afraid for my life if I speak.
And are you not?
They're afraid for their life if they speak out against Turning Point.
Of course.
Correct.
Were you not afraid? Like, how long did you contemplate? Because you posted this video, like, what, 10 days ago now? Or at least that's when I saw it. And this is, 2 months after it happened. And also, follow-up question to that, how long did it take you to realize, because I went through your Instagram and I saw like your past stories that you posted about when Charlie was first assassinated, and it didn't seem like you were too skeptical up until maybe recently.
Right. At first, I would say I wasn't too skeptical. I just thought, as anyone else would, it was just a crazy left lunatic that went and shot Charlie because of what he did and his views. But then I started thinking a little deeper about it, and I'm like, you got to realize who Charlie was and what he did and the impact that he made in the United States. He led the biggest youth conservative organization in history.
Absolutely.
And he is solely the reason that Trump won the last election too, and that is well seen in the numbers. And with that being said, that kind of led me on to believe, okay, maybe there was some foreign influence in what happened to him, or maybe there was some motive from inside. And I started watching Candace Owens' videos more and more because she had the same thought process as me. And the thing that I've been telling everyone that I've talked to about this is questions don't hurt anybody. And I wonder why everyone is going after Candace Owens so hard and calling her such a conspiracy theorist and a psycho just for simply asking questions. And that simply is what made me start digging deeper into everything and truly discovering what I did.
Yeah, it's called the Streisand effect.
Yeah, because she's just going, none of this adds up. None of this makes sense. Make it make sense. Answer these questions. There's all these conspiracy theories going around online. Okay, so Turning Point, our own government, whoever, let's squash the theories, answer the questions. But people aren't answering the questions. They're kind of dancing around the questions, or they're saying, you're crazy for asking these questions.
Right.
And so you were like, this doesn't really add up.
Exactly. And I mean, I also looked historically too, if you look what they did to Trump back in 2016. It's kind of the same narrative, if you will, of making him out to seem crazy and making him seem like he is going to do nothing but evil and harm. But in reality, he didn't. And I mean, I have different views on him now because of foreign influence again, but I do believe truly that the same thing happens with Kansas. And I see that all of Turning Point's social media stars and allies are all simultaneously posting the same types of videos going after.
Like literally beat for beat, word for word.
Right.
And it's just like, what?
It's like they're
It's like,
reading
God,
off a
I
script.
know these are real accounts.
Right. And that's just really concerning to me too, is the organized effort to try to suppress Candace Owens' questions.
Yeah.
It's in the dodging and the smoke and mirrors. It's very, very odd.
So I want to dive more into your experience on that first night, and also some of the things left Turning Point. But what was the main reason why you decided to leave?
Yeah, personally, I just felt that there was a lot of pressure from the people on the inner circle of Turning Point, if you will. And I will say that anyone that has worked for Turning Point is very aware that there was an inner circle there. And if you are not a part of that, you are not going to last. You are not going to enjoy your life there, and they're going to make you miserable. And that's exactly what they did to me. They made me as miserable as they possibly could until I eventually just gave up on the job.
And what does that inner circle mean? And like, what were they doing or conspiring that you didn't want to be a part of?
Yeah, it was just kind of corruption, if you will, of the upper levels, differences in views from Charlie and opinions and stuff, and very secretive type of things. Like they wanted to have secret meetings with each other, and like they would go off during training in secret little groups while everyone else was, you know, watching the presentations and stuff. And it was like a little secret fan club almost. Like you get to sneak off and go do your own thing for a little bit. And I never bought into it. I just didn't think of it as a good thing. I thought it was really weird and peculiar that would be going on, and let alone no one questioned it.
So were you invited to these secret groups?
Yes.
And you were told certain things about them, but you were kind of just like not interested. So why don't you go more into what you talked about in one of your videos that was removed, where you were approached at one of those bar events by people at Turning Point, and I'll let you describe for yourself what you said about them, what country they affiliated with, and what they said to you, if you want to talk about that a little bit right now.
So we went out to the bar. That was the night we went out to the bar with our senior representatives, and they were having us all drink. I had had a few drinks myself, I will say that. Mm-hmm. And they pulled me outside for a minute to smoke a cigarette with them. And but they start talking to me a little bit, and they're like, so we just overheard you talking about Israel earlier, and we just wanted to know a little bit more. Like, how do you feel about Israel? And I said, I feel neutral. Like, I think they're okay. At the time, I hadn't done too much research into what was going on or whatnot, so I didn't care. And they said, okay, well, we're part of a pro-Israel group within Turning Point, and we kind of promote for Israel within Turning Point, if you will. And they were like, would you be interested in stuff like that? And I was like, not really, no. I'm just here for the college department. I work with colleges, because I thought it was some different group that they were with. And they said, oh, we're part of some Israeli coalition group that Turning Point hires to come here and work for them. And I was like, okay, whatever. Like, that's weird. And I kind of shrugged it off and walked away. But looking back now, I can see that was very weird and very odd of them to be talking about with me.
Okay. And so after this night out with these, what would you call them? Did you think that they worked for the Mossad, like the Israeli CIA?
Yeah, I mean, at the time I did, and I can't clarify if they did because I don't have their credentials. I don't know if they really
Well, they
did.
said they did.
But I believe that they did, yes.
Do you know if they were Americans or if they were like born and raised in Israel?
I do know that one of them has dual citizenship with the U.S. and Israel. That's a fact. I know that. The other one, I am not 100% certain on.
And do you know if Charlie was aware that these people had ties to the Israeli government?
I don't think he did, no.
Well, man, if that pot isn't getting stirred now. Did y'all see that? Keeps happening in this room. It's in other videos I've got too. It's something about this room. But yeah, that pot's getting stirred, isn't it? Getting too much stirred. They don't like it. They're getting exposed. This has caused a lot of people to start looking up, looking into. You heard what the kid said. After so much time passed, he was like, wait a minute. Stay tuned, folks. If you like my content, please like my video, subscribe to my channel, and have a good morning, day, evening, or night, wherever you are.